Hey there, friends! So, you know those annoying tingles you get in your feet sometimes? Or maybe you wake up in the middle of the night with your calf muscles screaming at you, and by the time evening rolls around, your legs feel like you've been hauling bricks all day, even though you've just been doing regular stuff? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I'm just getting older. This is what happens. But here's the thing. What if I told you these aren't just random age-related quirks? They're actually your body waving red flags at you, trying to tell you something important about your circulation. And honestly, ignoring these signs could eventually lead to some pretty serious stuff. We're talking blood clots, damage to your nerves, even increased stroke risk. Now, stay with me here because this gets interesting. There's this one vitamin, and nope, it's not magnesium like everyone and their cousin keeps recommending, that can actually help get your leg circulation back on track naturally. And chances are pretty good you've already got sources of it sitting in your fridge right now. I'm Dr. Sarah Mitchell, and look, I'm going to be straight with you for the next little while here. I want to walk you through 5 key warning signs that your leg circulation might already be struggling more than you realize. And then I'm going to tell you about this one vitamin that could genuinely help turn things around. Here's something that might surprise you. This particular vitamin is actually the one seniors are most commonly deficient in. Yet somehow, it's also incredibly powerful when it comes to supporting healthy circulation. Pretty wild, right? Before we really dig into this, I'd love to know where you're tuning in from and what age range you're in. Drop that in the comments for me. And hey, if you want more practical, potentially life-saving health information like what I'm sharing today, especially stuff tailored for those of us over 60, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I post videos like this every week to help you not just survive, but actually thrive in your later years. What's actually going on inside your body? But first, let me paint you a picture of what's really happening inside your body when your circulation starts going downhill. Because once you understand the mechanics of this, you'll see exactly why this vitamin I'm about to reveal is so incredibly important. Think about your circulatory system like a big highway network, okay? When everything's running smoothly, all that oxygen-rich blood and nutrients are zipping along to every single cell in your body. You feel energized, you feel strong, you can move around without issues. But when circulation starts declining, here's the tricky part. The early warning signs are super easy to miss. And that's what makes this whole thing so dangerous, to be honest. So, what exactly is poor circulation? Basically, it's when your blood flow gets sluggish or even partially blocked, and this tends to happen most noticeably in your feet and legs. There are a bunch of reasons this happens. You might have plaque building up inside your arteries, the valves in your veins might be getting weaker, maybe you're dealing with high blood pressure or diabetes, or perhaps you're just not moving around as much as you used to. And yeah, sometimes it's simply the aging process doing its thing. What really makes this dangerous, though, is how quietly the whole thing develops. You get some swollen ankles here, some cold toes there, maybe a bit of discomfort that comes and goes. Most people just brush it off, thinking, well, I'm getting older, this is normal. But your body is actually sending you serious signals that something needs attention. Here's what happens. When your blood vessels start losing their flexibility and elasticity, your risk of developing blood clots goes way up. And when proper blood flow isn't happening, your body literally can't flush out toxins the way it should. This leads to more inflammation, higher risk of infections, and honestly, it speeds up the aging process overall. Professor Dr. Youll Kessler, he's a leading expert in the field of regenerative medicine, puts it really clearly. He says that blood flow is absolutely essential to every aspect of healing and maintaining vitality in your body. Without good circulation, nothing in your body functions the way it should. Now here's the good news, and I really want you to hear this. When you catch poor circulation early enough, it can often be managed effectively. In many cases, it can even be reversed with some simple daily changes and the right targeted nutrition. And that's exactly what I'm going to walk you through today. The 5 major warning signs. Let me break down 5 major symptoms for you. These tend to show up in a pretty clear pattern, with each one being more serious than the last. If you're recognizing yourself in any of these, I want you to really pay attention, because this vitamin I'm about to reveal actually addresses every single one of these issues. Warning sign. 1. Your skin color is changing. Have you looked down at your feet or ankles lately and noticed they look pale? Maybe they've got a bluish tint, or you're seeing these dark patches appearing? This isn't just a cosmetic thing you can ignore. What's happening is your extremities aren't getting enough oxygen delivered to them. When blood isn't flowing properly down to your feet and legs, your skin literally changes color because it's essentially starving for oxygen. You might notice these areas feel cold when you touch them, and if you get a cut or scrape, it takes forever to heal. That slow healing opens up the door for infections to set in. This is your body's way of practically shouting at you that blood isn't reaching where it needs to go. Don't ignore it. Warning. Sign number 2, cramps while walking or during the night. Ever had this happen? You're walking along, maybe just doing some shopping or taking a stroll, and suddenly you get this sharp, intense cramp in your leg that literally forces you to stop in your tracks. This could be something called intermittent claudication, which is just a fancy way of saying your leg muscles aren't getting enough oxygen because your arteries are narrowed. You might think it's just a muscle problem, like you overdid it at the gym or something. But what's really happening is your arteries are struggling to deliver enough blood to those muscles. And those nighttime cramps? They're even more telling, actually. They wreck your sleep, waking you up at 2 a.m. with your calf locked up tight. They're pointing to the exact same underlying problem. Your muscles are literally crying out for more oxygen-rich blood. When they don't get what they need, they just seize up painfully. Warning. Sign number 3, that pins and needles feeling that won't quit. You know that sensation, right? That tingling pins and needles feeling in your feet, especially after you've been sitting for a while or standing in one spot. Most people think it's just from sitting funny or standing too long in one position. But when this starts happening regularly, like it's becoming a daily thing, it's actually pointing to nerve stress caused by insufficient blood flow. Your nerves need a constant supply of blood to function properly. They're kind of high maintenance that way. When they don't get the blood flow they need, that's when you feel the tingling and numbness. Over time, if this continues, it can lead to peripheral nerve damage. And that's serious because it affects your reflexes and your balance. When your balance is off, your risk of falling goes way up. And we all know how devastating falls can be for seniors. Warning sign number 4, feet that feel like ice cubes. If your feet feel absolutely freezing even when it's a warm day, that's a pretty clear sign that blood isn't reaching your extremities the way it should. This happens when your blood vessels get narrowed or blocked, which prevents that oxygen-rich blood from making it all the way down to your toes. I've had patients tell me their feet feel like literal ice blocks, even in the middle of summer. They're wearing socks to bed when it's 80 degrees outside. And this isn't just uncomfortable. This is your body telling you there are arterial problems happening, possibly atherosclerosis. Plus, when your feet are that cold all the time, it weakens their natural defenses against injury and infection. Warning sign, number 5, those visible varicose and spider veins. Okay, this is probably the most visible sign. Those bulging, twisted veins that are often bluish or dark purple. These are one of the clearest indicators of poor circulation you can get. These form when the little valves inside your veins start to weaken and fail. When that happens, blood starts pooling in your lower limbs instead of flowing back up to your heart efficiently. This causes discomfort, swelling, and that heavy dragging feeling in your legs that gets worse as the day goes on. And those spider veins, you know, those tiny red or purple lines that kind of look like a spider web spread across your skin, those are also warning signs that your vein health is compromised. Professor Kessler warns that one of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking these are purely cosmetic issues. He says poor venous flow is like a silent unraveling happening inside your body. By the time it fails completely, The complications are way harder to treat. If you're experiencing several of these symptoms at once, I really encourage you to consult with a vascular specialist. A simple vascular ultrasound can identify problems before they turn into something dangerous. The one vitamin that changes everything. All right, now let me tell you about the one vitamin that addresses all of these problems I just outlined. And hey, if you're finding this helpful so far, do me a favor and hit that like button. It genuinely supports the channel and helps us reach more seniors who really need this kind of information. The one vitamin that can help restore leg circulation after 60 is vitamin B3, also called niacin. Now, you're probably wondering, why is everyone always talking about magnesium for leg cramps and circulation issues, but nobody mentions this vitamin? Great question. Here's the truth of the matter. While magnesium definitely helps with muscle relaxation, and it has its place, it doesn't actually address the root cause of poor circulation. Vitamin B3 does something completely different, and way more powerful, in my opinion. It's a key nutrient that naturally expands your blood vessels, which makes it much easier for blood to flow through your body. This reduces the chance of clots or blockages forming in the first place. Let me break down exactly how this works. When you take vitamin B3, it triggers something called vasodilation in your body. In plain English, your blood vessels literally widen and relax. Think about it like this. Imagine you're trying to water your garden with a kinked-up hose versus a fully open, unrestricted hose. That's basically the difference vitamin B3 makes in your arteries and veins. Huge difference, right? This expansion and relaxation of your blood vessels allows way more oxygen and nutrients to reach your tissues. This eases all those common symptoms we talked about: the leg fatigue, the cramping, those cold feet, that heavy, dragging feeling. Within just a few weeks of getting adequate B3, many people notice their leg symptoms improving dramatically. I'm talking noticeable, real-world improvements. But vitamin B3 doesn't stop there. It's also amazing for heart health because it lowers bad LDL cholesterol while simultaneously increasing good HDL cholesterol. This is absolutely critical because high LDL cholesterol is what leads to plaque buildup in your arteries. And that plaque buildup is one of the main culprits causing poor circulation in the first place. By helping balance your cholesterol levels, vitamin B3 prevents that fatty buildup in your arteries, keeping them clear and flexible. This is why it's so effective at addressing all 5 of those warning signs we discussed earlier. It works at the root cause level, not just masking symptoms temporarily. Studies have actually shown that people with adequate vitamin B3 levels have significantly better circulation overall. They have lower rates of cardiovascular disease and fewer symptoms of peripheral artery disease. One study found that seniors who increased their B3 intake experienced about a 40% reduction in leg cramping and numbness within just 8 weeks. That's pretty incredible. Another study showed improved walking distance and reduced pain in patients dealing with intermittent claudication. This isn't just theory or wishful thinking. It's backed by solid, peer-reviewed science. The deficiency nobody's testing for now. Here's something that most doctors won't tell you, and it kind of frustrates me, honestly. Vitamin B3 deficiency is extremely common in people over 60. Like, really common. Yet, it's rarely tested for. Why? Because the symptoms develop so slowly and gradually that they're usually just chalked up to normal aging. Cold feet, tired legs, poor sleep from leg cramps. Doctors hear these complaints all the time and just assume it's part of getting older. But in many cases, it's simply a vitamin B3 deficiency that can be corrected with proper nutrition. It's that straightforward. Where to get your vitamin B3? So where do you actually get vitamin B3? Let me give you the best food sources. Skinless chicken breast is fantastic. Just one 100-gram serving, that's about the size of a deck of cards, gives you over half of your daily niacin needs right there. Salmon is another great source. A 3-ounce serving provides about 53% of your daily requirement. Eggs are convenient and affordable. One large egg gives you about 4% of your daily needs. So if you have 2 or 3 eggs for breakfast, you're getting a nice boost. Almonds are perfect for snacking. A quarter cup provides about 25% of your daily B3. And tuna, especially yellowfin tuna, is one of the absolute richest sources. A 3-ounce serving provides over 90% of your daily requirement. Pretty impressive. The recommended daily amount for adults over 60 is roughly 14 to 16 milligrams for women and 16 to 18 milligrams for men. But here's what's important to understand. If you're already deficient and experiencing symptoms, you might need more initially to restore healthy levels in your body. Some studies on circulation improvement have used therapeutic doses ranging from 100 to 500 milligrams, but those were under medical supervision. I always recommend starting with food sources first and working with your healthcare provider if you're considering taking supplements. Food first, always. About that niacin flush. Now, you might experience something called the niacin flush when you first start increasing your B3 intake, especially if you're taking it as a supplement. This is a harmless warming sensation and redness of the skin, usually on your face, neck, and chest. It typically lasts about 15 to 30 minutes and gradually diminishes as your body adjusts to the vitamin. This flush is actually caused by that vasodilation effect I mentioned earlier. Your blood vessels are opening up and expanding. Some people find it a bit uncomfortable, but honestly, it's actually a sign the vitamin is working. If you really want to avoid the flush, you can choose a time-release form of niacin, or you can simply get your B3 from food sources, which tend to cause a much milder effect or no flush at all. A practical day of eating. Let me give you a practical example of what a day of eating could look like to show you how easy it is to get enough vitamin B3. Breakfast. Have a 2-egg omelet loaded with spinach and a slice of whole grain toast. That's giving you a solid start to the day, plus some fiber and other nutrients. Mid-morning snack. Grab a quarter cup of almonds. Simple, portable, nutritious. Lunch. A chicken breast salad with mixed greens and a drizzle of olive oil dressing. Delicious and packed with B3. Afternoon snack. Some tuna on whole grain crackers. Quick, easy, satisfying. Dinner. A nice piece of grilled salmon with roasted vegetables on the side. Just with this simple, pretty normal day of eating, you're getting well over 100% of your daily B3 needs. Plus, you're getting a ton of other nutrients that support circulation. Protein, healthy fats, antioxidants, the works. It's not just about the vitamin. But here's something really important I need to stress. Vitamin B3 works best when it's combined with other healthy lifestyle habits. You can't just eat chicken and salmon every day and expect perfect circulation if you're sitting on the couch all day, smoking, or eating a bunch of processed junk food. It doesn't work that way. The good news? Small changes really do create big results over time. Start moving more throughout your day. Even just standing up and walking around for 5 minutes every hour makes a genuine difference. Stay hydrated, because when you're dehydrated, your blood gets thicker and harder for your heart to pump efficiently. Reduce inflammation by cutting back on sugar and heavily processed foods. Your blood vessels will thank you. And manage your stress levels, because chronic stress actually constricts your blood vessels, making circulation worse. A real patient story. Let me share a story about one of my patients that really illustrates this. Her name's Margaret, and she's 67 years old. She came to see me complaining about severe leg cramps at night that were waking her up multiple times. She couldn't get a full night's sleep because of them. Her feet were constantly cold. I'm talking even wearing thick socks to bed in the middle of summer kind of cold. She was tired all the time, and she noticed her legs felt really heavy by afternoon, like she was dragging weights around. Her doctor had told her it was just part of aging and gave her magnesium supplements. Those helped a little bit with the cramps, but they didn't actually solve the underlying problem. When I sat down and reviewed her diet with her, I noticed she was eating very little protein and almost no B3-rich foods at all. She was basically living on toast, cereal, and salads, with very little meat or fish. Classic case of unintentional malnutrition. I had her make one simple change. Add 1 serving of chicken or fish daily, plus a handful of almonds as a snack. That's it. Within 2 weeks, she told me her nighttime cramps were happening less frequently. By week 4, they were almost completely gone. Her feet started feeling warmer, and that heavy feeling in her legs improved significantly. By week 8, she came in and told me she felt like she had her energy back. She was sleeping through the night without waking up. Her feet were no longer ice cold, and she could walk much longer distances without feeling fatigued. All of this from simply making sure she got adequate vitamin B3 every single day. This is the power of addressing a nutritional deficiency that was silently sabotaging her circulation. What about plant-based diets? Now, I want to address a common concern that comes up. What about people who don't eat meat or fish? Can you still get enough B3 if you're vegetarian or vegan? The answer is yes, but I'll be honest, it's harder. Plant-based sources of B3 include peanuts, brown rice, whole wheat products, mushrooms, and nutritional yeast. However, the bioavailability, meaning how well your body can actually absorb and use the vitamin from these sources, is lower compared to animal sources. If you're vegetarian or vegan, you'll need to be more intentional and deliberate about including B3-rich plant foods at every single meal. And you might benefit from taking a B-complex supplement just to make sure you're getting adequate amounts. What you really need to remember. Here's what you need to take away from all this. Those circulatory issues in your legs aren't just minor annoyances you should learn to live with. They're warning signs of deeper health problems that can affect your heart, your brain, and your overall mobility and independence. But you don't need drastic measures or expensive treatments to address this. The solution is honestly simpler than most people think. It starts with one vitamin, vitamin B3, niacin. This is the vitamin that naturally expands your blood vessels, improves blood flow to your legs and feet, reduces cramping and numbness, warms up those cold feet, prevents clots and blockages from forming, balances your cholesterol to prevent plaque buildup. Start with simple dietary changes you can implement today. Add a serving of chicken breast or salmon to your daily meals. Choose almonds as your go-to snack instead of reaching for packaged processed stuff. Have eggs for breakfast instead of just toast or cereal. Include tuna in your lunch a few times a week. These small daily shifts create big improvements over time. It's not magic, it's just good nutrition doing what it's supposed to do. Most people notice a real difference within 2 to 4 weeks, and by 8 weeks, the improvement can honestly be pretty dramatic. Your action plan. Let me give you a quick practical action plan you can start implementing today. Step 1. Assess your current B3 intake. Take a hard look at what you ate yesterday and what you've eaten today. Are you getting enough B3-rich foods? If the answer is no, that's very likely part of your problem. Step 2. Choose one meal today, literally today, to add a B3-rich food to. Maybe it's having eggs for breakfast instead of your usual cereal, or maybe it's adding some chicken to your lunch salad. Just one meal, one change. Step 3. Plan your weekly grocery shopping to consistently include chicken breast, salmon or tuna, eggs, and almonds. Write it on your list. Make it non-negotiable. Step 4. Track your symptoms. Actually pay attention to your leg cramps, cold feet, tingling sensations, and fatigue levels over the next few weeks. Notice if things are getting better. Step 5. Be consistent. This isn't a quick fix or a miracle cure. It's about nourishing your body properly every single day, week after week. Consistency is everything. If you're already experiencing symptoms or you have a family history of circulatory problems, definitely talk with your healthcare provider. They can help you tailor this advice to your specific situation and make sure any changes work safely with your current medications, especially if you're on blood thinners or anything like that. The bigger picture. Taking care of your circulation isn't just about your legs feeling better. You're actually preserving your independence, your mobility, and your peace of mind as you age. Better circulation means better brain function. It means better heart health, stronger legs, better sleep, more energy throughout your day, and ultimately, a longer, more active, more fulfilling life. Before you go, I'd really love it if you'd comment below with your age and where you're watching from. Tell me, are you experiencing any of these circulation symptoms? Have you tried increasing your vitamin B3 intake before? I genuinely read every single comment, and I love hearing from this amazing community we've built. And if this video actually helped you, if you learned something useful, please share it with someone who needs it. I know so many people who ignore these symptoms for years and years, thinking it's just normal aging and there's nothing they can do about it. But knowledge like this can truly change lives. It can potentially even save them. Thanks so much for watching and sticking with me through all this. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more life-changing health tips that are designed specifically for seniors like us. Remember, better circulation starts with small, manageable steps you can take today. And it all begins with making sure you're getting enough vitamin B3 in your diet.